More about borders. So far, we learned how to declare borders, how to create different styles about it, and how to declare borders on specific sides with specific widths. Let's take advantage of one more property in borders, which is known as border radius. That can make our elements appear as rounded on its corners. And if you look at this page, I've created a simple set of div containing spans inside it. These spans appear to be like as if they were a navigation bar menu on a website: home, about us, services, contact us, or you can imagine anything else that you want. Now to make it appear more leaner, I'm going to modify the style on this span. I'm going to make it 10 pixel padding. It appears much more leaner. And I can simply apply any border style that I want. But this time I want to make these rounded edges. So I can apply a style called border radius. And let's say I apply a radius of 15 pixels. And here we go. We have rounded edges on the blocks that we have created inside. You can also play around with the size of the radius of the rounding in the corners. Now, this radius is basically imagined as if circles were placed at the corners and they had a radius of its own. So you can calculate this based upon the height and width of your elements. If the height and width is not going to be fixed, you may have to be precisely more calculative about its responsive sizes, which can be done even using JavaScript. Now in this particular case, I have created a border radius styling which is applied across all spans. And we can also make them appear as if it was applied only to certain spans over here. But let's play around with the original border property. Now I'm going to create a class over here that is known as active, and I'm going to set a border to it. Now I've created a class which is active and it has a style that says bottom border has to be set to 5 pixels solid black. Now I had to just apply this class to one of these menu items which I created. Let's say I want to apply it to about us. So I can just introduce this class and provide the class active in it. And as you can see, a border appears and also the cornering effect has been applied to this border over here. But if you can see, one of the problems over here is this has also changed the size of our element, meaning it appears as if there's an extra line below it and it is not matching the height of all the other elements. This may break your layout sometimes. So there's one simple quick fix for it. A simple trick out of the pocket is that you need to have a sort of a border which is also appearing on other items. Now, if you see, the border of these have also been expanded at the bottom, but since the color given to it is transparent, it appears as if there is no border set to it. This is how several website and styles play around to make things appear out of nowhere and without distorting any of the height and width properties of your elements. This can also be achieved by using border hidden and border none. You can try it out on your own and check out how it works. Now, rounded borders can also be placed in custom locations instead of having all borders rounded. Now, suppose for example, you did not want each and every item over here to have rounded borders and only have rounded borders on the corner of top and left of this one, home over here, and the rightmost top and left of the contact us one over here. So let's try to do that. First of all, I'm going to comment out the code over here, which gives all of these elements a corner radius. Next is I'm going to create a style that is first and last. Then I'm going to define a border radius, which is specific to certain directions, that is left or right. So just imagine you create a border top left radius, meaning top left, that is over here, the border radius will be applied as 10 pixels, and border bottom left, that is over here, will be applied also again as 10 pixels. So this is only specific as bottom left and top left. Next one which I create is a class name called last, which has the exact same definitions, but instead of border bottom left and border top left, I am having border top right and border bottom right. So that would be the bottom top right over here and border bottom right over here. Next is I can simply apply those classes to the first and last element. The moment I do that, we have this effect where only part of this appears and all of these menu items appear to be part of one huge set which follows one standard style. Now, this can be achieved without declaring separate classes or having to write them down over here. by using a technique known as pseudo elements, okay, which we can do over here. But let's check that out in its separate section later.